Welcome to Mad Astro Predictions. Today we'll be discussing on effects of solar eclipse, which is going to happen on 4th December 2021. Sorry, there's a typing error. It is 2021. I have taken the time as 13 hours. Basically, it is going to happen for about 1.5 hours. And location I have taken as Bangalore because you see I am staying in Bangalore, so I have taken this. So my perceptions on solar eclipse will be as seen from location Bangalore. So this is the eclipse times. So it's on 4th December. It will be a Saturday. So most of them will be having an holiday. So they can spend more time in their houses, chanting or praying Lord's names and doing conducting certain kinds of rituals for this eclipse. We shouldn't take we shouldn't take it light. Many say that even though eclipse is not visible, so the effects won't be there. I don't consider that, since eclipse is happening and the planets are going to get affected, so the effect will be universal, irrespective whether it is visible in a particular place or a region or not. For example, this eclipse will not be visible in India, so people may say that let us not worry too much about it, as it is not visible. It's not that case. Even though it is happening in the sense, even though it's visible in far places like Antarctica or somewhere in America, still the effect is universal. Sun is going to be affected, moon will be going to be affected, which means our mind and our soul is going to get affected. We are going to experience its results. So that's what I consider. So this is the time, and let us see what is going to happen on the world level. So I will be taking two charts. One is world level, one is India chart. Okay, for India it is Taurus. For on the world level, according to that time, it will be about it will be the Lagna will be Aquarius. So as far as world is concerned, effects on the world, what I perceive from Bangalore is that Jupiter is in Lagna, so that means it is quite auspicious. People may become more dharmic, religious, all those things. Now eclipse is happening in the house of 10, that is the 10th bhava in Scorpio. Scorpio already is considered an house of death as per Kala Chakra. So again, we see this from last 2 years or 1.5 years or so. These eclipses are happening in Taurus and Scorpio. That is because Rahu and Ketu are placed in it for almost 1.5 years, and they are going to move out of it only in next March or April. So that is how last 3-4 eclipses are happening in these houses. Now, since this eclipse is happening is 10th house, so on the world level, I see that for the next 6 months to 1 year, there will be problems in professions. So professions, various kinds of professions are there. In that particularly, I'll be mentioning some professions. So these professions will be affected by this eclipse. So these effects will be there for 6 to 1 year. So since sun is involved, naturally the politicians will be suffering. So every eclipse sun will be affected. So politically and all those things will be there. But since Mercury is involved, the main point Mercury, I really feel that this time the businesses, the share markets, the trading, the education, the journalism, the communication, all these fields will be heavily affected. Mercury will be at 21 degrees and sun will be at 18 degrees, so almost just 3 degree difference, so it's quite close. So as it is, sun is going to be eclipsed, but eclipse or the planet nearing to it, Mercury, that will also be eclipsed. So all the professions related to Mercury, I'll repeat again: trading, share markets, because Mercury is share market is also a kind of trade market, and also communications. Mercury deals with communication, all kinds of communication, written communication, like print media, or kinds of agreements, whatever agreements would have happened in this uh, time, or for the next 6 months to 1 year, all the agreements would have to be relooked. There may be relook. See, actually what happens is, I just want to add one point. The effect of solar eclipse starts 15 days before itself, okay, and the effect of this solar eclipse will be there for 1 year, 6 months to 1 year. If you just see Reliance and Aramco, they wanted to relook into their agreement. This happened just about 1 week back. So if you see astrologically also, solar eclipse is going to happen on December 4th, and there was an agreement to be signed, and its effect already happened about a week back, that they wanted to relook into the agreements. So such kind of things are expected to happen for another 6 months to 1 year, not only in the case of Reliance, maybe with many other people also, any other agreements also. Also at time we are giving these predictions, we are also expecting this corona wave to be starting, and we can expect, because of the corona wave, third wave, fourth wave, whatever, according to the region, there might be re-looking of various agreements might be changing because of the situation, so that will be there. So print media, oral communications will be affected. People may take back their words, whatever they would have given. Written communication, oral communications, and other kinds of communications, all will be affected. Not only this, Mercury also represents education, learning, and all those kinds of studies. Again, education is going to get affected. It is also going to aspect 4th house, this Grahana. Rahu is already sitting there, which also means 4th house also means education. So I am sure some kind of problems will persist for education again. From last 2 years we have seen that education had not moved. So this year also it may move again. The educations, maybe the children going to schools and various kinds of educations will again be affected. So Mercury being the planet involved, these things will happen. Again, moon is deviated here in the Grahana. Moon represents mind, so lot of mind issues will be there with people. All natives having their moon weak for some or the other kind, especially people born in this what you call Amavasya period, Amavasya Tithi. So all their minds might be affected, and not only that, people having a moon delineated in the charts will have to be careful. So that is another issue. So minds of people will be affected. So these people have to take up chanting of Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I am repeating, chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya for people who are already having depressions or some kind of issues, or mind related depressions, or some kind of whatever. If they feel that they are feeling tensed in the few days or something like that in their life also, they have to take up the chanting. And also people should start worshipping Vishnu, because Mercury is governed by Vishnu, Sri Vishnu. So people can worship Sri Vishnu so that the effects in their lives may be reduced. Due to this Grahana, as it is, Sun is getting affected. Sun is in its 10th house for the universal period, because of which the governments all of the world also will be in trouble, because Sun is also giving directions into the 10th house. Sun itself getting eclipsed in the 10th house. Professions, governments, and MNCs, heads of institutions, the people who are head of certain institutions, they also will be in trouble. So a lot of trouble seen. So 4th house again Grahana, so land related problems will be there. So people should take care of their lands. It may be anything, country level, naturally, encroaching of lands by different countries related to properties individually. All these issues are going to crop up. So 4th and 10th house are going to be affected. Other points what we can see is Saturn is in the 12th house. It is aspecting 9th house, that is Mars, and Mars is also going to accept Saturn. So there is a mutual aspect between Saturn and Mars, and everyone knows that Saturn and Mars are not friends. So again, certain kinds of effect is going to happen. I believe the religious places, the temples, masjids, mosques, churches, they all also will be in trouble. The judicial system will be in trouble. Maybe judicial courts may not function normally. Saturn in 12th house, again affected by Mars. This is also an yoga for confinement. So Mars aspecting 12th house with Saturn. Saturn already stationed in 12th house. I foresee or I expect a lot of lockdowns to happen around the world. In the sense, 12th house is a place of confinement where people are confined, which means imprisonment. Which 12th house also represents hospitals. Since Saturn is very very strong there and Mars is also going to aspect it, so surely we see a lot of activities, people getting admitted to hospitals or people getting confined to their homes. These things will be prominent. So we need to brace up. Again, people should start worshipping Mars. Mars is represented by Narsimha or Skanda. Mars is in house of Libra, that is earthly grade, and the 10th is Capricorn, which is a fiery planet, which is where Mars is also exalted. So Mars effect will be more. Saturn is already there in his own house. Mars is also going to get Bala again, going to get strength. So we clearly see, so there's a lot of things going to happen in the hospitals, and there's a lot of things of confinement and lot of expenses happening. Overall, we see the corona to be in full swing. I don't want to take the name corona because I'm not dealing with corona in this discussion. I'm dealing with solar eclipse, but as I given the prediction for corona in just few weeks back, a month back, and the situation what I see in this chart, the whole world will have related confinements, related expenses to hospitals, related lockdowns. So all this will be there. Again, Rahu from 4th house is going to aspect 9th house also, and Rahu is at 6 degrees. Again we see Rahu, Shani, Mars, all the three planets aspecting 12th house. So sure, hospitals, confinements, sleepless nights to the people will be there. It's going to be a tough time. I don't want to scare people, but I want to make people alert. So they have to take up chanting the names of the Lord. Unless we do that, prayers to the Lord, unless we do that, we are not going to escape these problems. Mars is represented by Narsimha, Skanda, Saturn. Again, you can worship Shiva, Rudra, Rahu, Durga. So all these deities we need to worship to come out of this collectively. And any other planet we see, Venus is in 11th house, but it is clubbed between Saturn and Sun and Ketu. So it's a Papakarti Yoga. Venus represents luxuries. So Venus represents luxuries, Papakarti Yoga. So again, all luxury places will be in trouble. So there won't be any profits. Luxury places are nothing but casinos or 5-star stays, 7-star hotels, entertainments. All this will be again in trouble. Venus is aspecting 5th house. Okay, that is a good positive sign. But 11th house, all those profits will be reduced. This will be there. And Jupiter aspecting 9th house will give some solace. Jupiter aspecting 5th house again gives some solace to investments. But Jupiter again in Lagna is going to help in some way. It's going to help in some way. We need to strengthen Jupiter. But other planets, Saturn, Rahu, Mars, all affecting 12th house. So people should get prepared with confinements or lockdowns. Okay. Now I'll give predictions to the Indian chart. Indian chart, the chart remains same, but only thing is we change the Lagna. The Lagna becomes Taurus for India. Here what we see is, see, whatever I have predicted for the world chart will also be applicable to India chart. In particular India chart, what else we can predict? Since the eclipse is taking place in 7th house, the 7th house represents partnerships. Partnerships will be in trouble. 7th house represents businesses houses will be in trouble. Already Mercury, as I explained for the world chart, Mercury is getting involved in the eclipse, so Mercury will also contribute to the problems of business partnerships as explained there. So all the businesses related to Mercury, schools, colleges, communications, journalism, all these kinds of traders, all these kinds will be in trouble. Partnerships of all these firms will be in trouble. Ketu is involved. Okay, Ketu Sun, so it's kind of spiritual thing will be there, but Moon isn't alleviated. Again, moon related problems like rain, water, all those things will be seen. Water related problems even for the neighboring countries will be there. Extra thing what we can do is, like Mars is in 6th house, Saturn is in 9th house, so dharma will be in trouble. So again same thing, temples, all these things, temples, these churches will be in trouble. Mars is in 6th house, so loans will be in trouble. Actually Mars in 6th house is very good. No, it helps to beat the competition, but Saturn is also going to have its effect. So some kind of loans, debts, diseases, hospitals, so all these things are going to come into picture. So we expect again something like second wave. Maybe the severity may not be as much as second wave, but some kind of problems we see. Mars and Saturn also aspecting. Saturn aspecting 6th house is good because it reduces the rate of diseases and loans, etc. In that way it is good. Here also Mars is going to aspect Saturn, Saturn is going to aspect Mars. There's a mutual aspect. So 9th house and 6th house of Indian chart will be affected. So 9th house represents law, so judicial system may be in trouble. Saturn also represents law, some kind of law, right? So when we say Saturn is coming, Saturn is going to give us punishment. So punishment is also a kind of law. If we have done any mistake, we get the punishment. So in that way Saturn represents the judicial system in one way, and it has been aspected by Mars again. So judicial system will have an active role to play. Maybe in many, judicial system will have active role to say on things happening in India. Venus again Papa Karte again 8th house. One thing we see is Venus and Rahu are in 6-8 combination. So Venus represents sometimes also like sex, so sexually related diseases, problems may crop up. Some issues related to sex will crop up, or maybe women may be in trouble. That also can happen. Again, if you see Mars and Rahu, they are also in 6-8 combination. Mars in 8th, 6th house, Rahu in Lagna, so it becomes 6-8 combination again. So that Mars again Purusha and Venus is woman, so both men and women are in problem. So it's a gentle neutral. So whatever problems we'll see will be gentle neutral type. But Jupiter in 11th house for India but Jupiter carries only 1 point in Ashtavarga chart. So again, profession or see, particularly I will tell you professions will be in trouble, but Jupiter represents dharma, churches again. All the Indian temples, religious places, dharmic places, be it church, masjid or temple, they all are going to again face troubles due to might be corona or any other reason. As I told you, I am not going to talk about corona here in this chat, but if you interlink the previous discussion what I had about corona and the chances of corona happening in India and the solar eclipse, I clearly see there is trouble to all these religious places. And also Guru represents teachers, so teachers are also in trouble. Guru also represents judges, commerce, commercial institutions, commerce. Jupiter itself represents Jiva. When Jiva itself is very weak. Ashtavarga point, it is 2 points. I am sorry. I think I just mentioned 1 point. It is actually 2 points. Jupiter is in 2 points and Saturn is in 1 point. So thus it makes trouble for all the religious. From last 2 years also, if you see 1.5 year, all religious temples, organizations are all in trouble due to coronas. And Jupiter is Jiva Tattva. Again, Aquarius, but carrying only 2 points, it is going to give bad results. The other good thing what we can see in the chart is that it's going to have a Graha Malika Yoga, like 6th house, 7th house, 8th house, 9th house, 10th house. So 5 planets are placed. It's a Graha Malika Yoga. And we are, India as a country is running Moon and Mercury Dasha, Moon Mahadasha and Mercury Antardasha. So maybe the Graha Malika Yoga is initiated, so which means we'll have some good news starting related to business, etc. But if it overturns, it may be negative also. So in that way, some kind of yoga is going to start, Graha Malika Yoga. But let's wait and watch. So this is my predictions. Overall, we need to be careful since there's a clear interlink between corona and this solar eclipse. We need to be extra cautious. People need to chant. So the best activity which can be done during Grahana is chant the holy names of the Lord. As it is, we can't worship, then temples, everything will be closed, but chanting has no restrictions. Everybody can chant, everybody can pray. 1.5 hours if we can spend on that day. As I told you, the time is around about 1 o'clock. You can start your prayers from around 2 o'clock and do it up to say 1:30 or 2. At least you spend 1.5 or 2 hours. Chant that period, whatever mantras you like. Simple mantras are Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namah Shivaya, or Gayatri mantra. Because sun is involved. Gayatri mantra, by chanting Gayatri mantra, we can make this sun strong. So Ketu is involved, Mercury is there. So chanting Vishnu mantras, we can strengthen Mercury. By doing this, the effects may be reduced. I am not going to say that we will completely eliminate the effects of the Grahana, but we can reduce. That's what I predict. That's what it's not a prediction, it's an request. So by doing this, we can reduce the effects of Grahana on our daily lives for the next 6 to 10 months. So I'll be ending this discussion. Thank you very much.